1, 2, 3.
Hi, Skillet Doctor here. Happy Passover and Happy Easter. For Passover, my grandma Rita used to make something called a frittata. It was one of my favorite things that she used to make, and I watched her do it. And when I used to make it myself with my son, he would call it a daddy pie. Why would he call it a daddy pie? Because daddy was making it. And it was cool. He loved it. So this is the best kept secret if you want to get some protein and vegetables and kind of sneak it in to your kids' food, because they don't know what's in it and they love it. It's really good because it's really cheesy. There's 3 types of cheeses in it. There's feta cheese, parmesan cheese, and cottage cheese. There's chopped spinach. There's matzo meal, of course, and a little bit of salt and pepper, chopped garlic. And we're going to use fresh spinach today. I usually use the packaged frozen spinach and wring out all the water. So let's get started. Here are the ingredients for the daddy pie. Chopped up clove of garlic, 1 cup of cottage cheese, parmesan cheese, probably about half a cup, 3/4 of a cup of the matzo meal, and right here we have chopped spinach. I think this is about 2 cups of chopped spinach. Give or take, eyeball it. We're using 3 eggs, and we're also going to use some feta cheese, and this is going to be crumbled on top and also put in the middle of the mixture. We're also using some butter. This is just a butter pad that I'm going to put in the skillet to season it before we put the mixture in to put it in the oven. And we're also using some olive oil. So we're going to show you a couple of very, very important utensils. One is Skillet Doctor coffee. And the other utensils, Grandma used to use a fork. We didn't use a whisk. And you need a rubber dubber because you're going to need to scrape this. So the first thing you do is take the eggs and you beat them. And I do it in this order because it's hard to beat eggs if the cottage cheese is in there, okay? So I get those beat up, and this is where utensil number 2 comes in. Put the cottage cheese in with the egg mixture. There we go. So get that in there. And then we're going to put in, this is the tricky part, putting in the matzo meal. Because the matzo meal is going to bind everything together. This is kind of what makes it stick. Okay. The other thing we're going to have to do is put the chopped spinach in here too. Now, I generally use frozen spinach, but because we couldn't find any, we're going to try it this way. Okay, so get that all together. Now, I didn't even use the whole half cup, or the 3/4 of the cup of matzo meal. I'm going to use a little more. Okay, I might need another egg. We'll have to see. Let's see how this goes. Okay, so we did have to add another egg, so that's 4 eggs now. And I think before I put the matzo meal in, I'm going to put some parmesan cheese in here, just a little bit. This is half a cup, so I put, I don't know, 1/4 of a cup. And you know, this recipe is really all about eyeballing, and whatever vessel you're going to make the daddy pie in. We're going to do it in a skillet today, but a lot of times I do it in one of these this casserole dish. For the spinach, we're going to do a little bit of sauté. So we'll put it in a number 8 skillet. We're going to use this is the Martin skillet today, and we're going to put the mixture of the baby spinach in and just sauté it and get it so that it's pretty well cooked. And the garlic is going to go in here once it gets cooked down a little bit. And then put a little salt, a little garlic. That looks good. Okay, so now put the spinach in with the egg, the feta. Well, we're going to add the feta in a second. Cottage cheese, egg, matzo meal, parmesan.
You might want to let the spinach cool a little bit before you put it in
Yes.
the egg.
You don't want to cook the eggs. Exactly. All right, mixing it in. Let's see. Oh, my trusty assistant did a great job. So we mix that in. And here comes the messy part. The messy part is the feta cheese. So the feta cheese, now I just eyeball it. So I take some feta, break it off. You just put a little bit in the mixture. This is a very, very cheesy dish. And then I mix that in. And that looks pretty good. I might put a little bit more matzo meal. So let's do that, just a little bit. And again, this is all eyeballing. But you're starting out with set measurements. Okay. That looks pretty good. That's pretty much ready to go into the skillet. Right there. Okay, the beauty of this is we're going to use the same skillet that we used to make the spinach in. And it's pretty much greased, but I'm going to use that butter pad just to make sure it has enough seasoning on it before we put the mixture in. So now, in goes the mixture. Now it's going to be good. We're going to take some feta cheese, crumble it, put it on top, and that's going to be yummy. Adds to it. And just because we have some Parmesan cheese left over, I'm going to use that. Very, very cheesy. Okay, here it is, ready to go in. So now you take it, put this whole thing in the oven, put it on the bottom,
Except the handle.
and you make sure you take the handle out. And we got it on 350. Let's try it for 30 minutes. Start it. Okay, 30 minutes. Okay, so it's been about 30 minutes. Let's check it. Ooh, it smells good. Ooh, look at that. Wow. That looks delicious. Great daddy pie. Make sure you have mitts on because this gets really hot. Look at that. Wow. So let's let it rest on the stove for a couple of minutes before we bite into it and cut in, and we'll check it out. Now we're ready to cut into it. So this looks really yummy. So I'm just going to cut it like a pizza pie. And I'll have the recipe for everybody. I modified it a little bit. And you'll see what it's going to be like. I am so excited about this. I'm just going to take a piece right now. Take this piece right here. And let's try it. Let's see. It's still hot. Oh, good. I taste the garlic. I taste all the cheeses. This is really good. It goes with everything. I eat it all the time. I've eaten it, we've taken it to many functions and it's gone once we put it out there. So it's a really good thing to take to a little get together. But it is for Passover. You can have it in a Seder situation. It's just got matzo meal and eggs. It's delicious. So, the Skillet Doctor, again, right here. Have some daddy pie. Have a great weekend. Have a good Easter too. And we'll see you next time. Rock on. Ooh, daddy pie's almost gone. You better get the last piece.